All right, quick never happened story. This one, Bobby sent this in. This is the guy that called Presents Prezzies. If you guys remember this guy. He said, he's wrapped it, I guess it's Christmas Prezzies, he called them. And he's a 40-year-old man, and he's calling Presents Prezzies. So this one he goes, I put Bohemian Rhapsody into the machine at this bar, and the whole place stopped what they were doing on cue to sing the whole fucking thing. In 2021, average age like 25. Be bold, live forever. Oof. And he goes, my parents weren't even fucking yet when this song dropped. But here it is, 45 years later, triggering entire venues full of strangers to sing in unison as if on spinal reflex. Yeah, because everybody's seen it in a fucking movie, seen the fucking, everybody singing in a bar. There was a commercial, not Bohemian Rhapsody, but what was the other one? The fucking Sweet Caroline. Slowly everyone in the bar starts singing. But in that bar, you had every mixed fucking person on earth. You had white, Spanish, fucking black, Indian, Chinese, fucking Muslim, 90, and then everyone slowly started singing it. And then everybody in the bar started singing it. They dropped everything they were doing. This guy's full of shit. It didn't happen. The whole bar didn't stop. So some guys, they're in the middle of fucking eating or something like that. He just stopped. Or maybe he's on his phone. He's talking to his daughter as he's sitting at the bar. Yeah, hold on, honey. I got to sing Bohemian Rhapsody because everybody else is. You're a fucking liar. And who cares if somebody did that anyway? Everybody knows that fucking song. So this is great because he got busted. Now he come up with a fake story. He goes, I was just carjacked in Tampa. Kid had the old finger gun in the shirt and demanded my keys. I asked him if he could drive stick. He said no. Then we just kind of stared at each other until I said, I don't know where to take this conversation. Did you? But then 3 years before, this guy found him telling the same story, but he added a little more. Oh, this is 3 years later. He goes, you laugh, but I was carjacked in 2004. Who laughed? Who's laughing? He goes, you laugh. Who? Nobody's ever laughed at anything this motherfucker said. A guy that calls Christmas present Prezzies doesn't have 1 ounce of sense of humor in him. He stinks. He goes, you laugh, but I was carjacked in 2004. The guy demanded the keys for my 97 Mustang GT. I asked him if he could drive stick. He said no. We kind of stared at each other for a while until he asked if I could show him how. I said, sure, if you got a few hours. He wandered off, and I drove my stick shift car home. Did you? Because that's what a carjacker would do. Hey, can you teach me how to drive stick? Yeah, you have a few hours? No, I don't. Because that's what he would say. A guy with a gun fucking in his face. Do you know how to drive stick? But you see how he stopped the story, and then 3 years later he added more to the story about asking if he knows how to drive stick. So he doesn't remember the lie he came up with 3 years before that. And like in the first one, he goes, if he knew it was the kid's finger and not a gun, why did he even bother talking to him? Unbelievable. But that's the Prezzies guy. So there'll be another version of carjacking in a few years, and it'll even add even more. Yeah, so I taught him stick for like 3 hours, and then he just gave me a tip. He goes, you know what? Keep your car. Now I know how to drive stick. Thank you. That'll be the next story. Wait. I think I got one more. Okay, no, I got another one from the Prezzies guy. Lucas sent this in. He goes, Jim, 2 days after Christmas and the fat dork in his 40s that calls the presents Prezzies is making up stories again for attention. The reality is this guy is drinking alone at the bar. Even the other drunks want nothing to do with him, and everything in this story is a figment of his fat imagination. To top it off, he's making jokes about child support when he has a daughter he signed the rights away to because he's too busy drinking, social media addiction, and playing with Star Wars toys as a grown man with gray hair already coming in. The nerve of this slob. Please give him the patented Florentine smashing he deserves. Lucas. He goes, I could also find other posts where he talks about imaginary bar fights he got into that will give you a fatal douche chills. Yeah, please send them in, Lucas. I want to fucking key in on this guy. Just that he called it Prezzies. I just fucking, he really bothers me. So here's another one. He's in a bar by himself. He's like, family just walked into a bar. And a family just walked in a bar I'm at with a 2-year-old rocking a sick mullet. Oof. Remember that? Oh, you're rocking that dress. You know how to, you rocked it. Yuck. He goes, and we've been absolutely roasting this kid. Now, first of all, he's a fat fuck that likes Star Wars in his 40s. He doesn't have any friends. He's not there. He didn't say he was there with his buddy. Is it just everybody in the bar? Everybody's sitting around, someone 3 tables over? So here are the jokes they come up with. A 2-year-old that has a mullet. That kid drinks Michelob Light at the VFW. Oof. What would be the problem if this kid did go to a VFW and order a Michelob Light? I've drank at fucking VFWs. Okay? They have a fucking bunch of beer, mostly shit on tap. But they're going to have bottles there too because they need to fucking make money. So what would be the weird thing if I go, can I get a Michelob Light at the VFW? Michelob Ultra is like the number 1 beer now. I think it's past fucking Modelo and it's definitely past Bud Light. So Michelob Ultra, which is basically a Michelob Light. Maybe the Michelob Ultra has like 15 less calories than the Michelob Light. So that's good. You know, so if you drink 10, you're saving 150 calories. Can you believe how many fucking calories you're saving? So that was his first joke. The second one, that kid drives an IROC Z with mismatched doors. Oof. Because there's a lot of IROC Zs around, right? You see them on the road all the time and they're making a comeback. There's a ton of them out there. Another hilarious joke. Next one. That kid has a lip full of wintergreen skull. So what? You know how many people fucking chew tobacco? You look at a fucking baseball game, half the fucking bench is doing it. Because he has a mullet, he's going to chew fucking tobacco because nobody else does. The next one. That kid has a favorite Van Halen singer. Yeah, I know. God forbid, you know, you have to have a mullet to go. Who did you like the best out of the 3 singers? And that kid is already behind on child support. Hilarious. Coming from the guy that gave up his daughter. Interesting. Signed the rights away because he's too busy drinking, social media addiction. Yeah, that's great, dude. You sound like a fucking great guy.